Welcome to Newslaundry Chhota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. Newslaundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a Newslaundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ हफ्ता. टुडे वी हैव इन द स्टूडियो Raman Kirpal.
Hi.
Anand, Vardhan.
Hello.
Joining us on the phone line from Chennai is Jayashree.
Hello.
And joining us also on the phone line but from Bangalore this time is Amandeep Sandhu. Hi Amandeep.
Hello everybody.
So many of you may already be familiar with Amandeep's writing. He's a journalist and a writer. His essays and short stories have appeared in various anthropologies, magazines and websites. He's written for The Caravan, Scroll, The Hindu Business Line and Punjab Journeys Through Fault Lines. His first non-fiction book was originally published in 2019 and got a great reception. You can pick it up. The link on the online order for it will be in the show notes below. So you can pick that up. Aman has great knowledge about Punjab and he will be talking about it in this podcast. But before we get to the headlines and the discussions, I have two announcements, quick ones. Our second edition of the Freedom Expression Conference, what we call FOCON, in partnership with the Internet Freedom Foundation, takes place on the 1st of April in Delhi, IIC at the Kamala Devi Complex. So you can register to do please come. It's a Saturday, so I'm sure you can make time. We have some fantastic panels. We'll be talking about the portrayal of courts in popular culture on OTTs and cinemas. We'll be talking about freedom of speech issues, policy, where media is concerned. Gautam Bhatia, who you've also heard on the Hafta, who's a fantastic writer on legal issues, will be there. Meenakshi Arora will be there. Chef Ali Bhushan will be there, as will Manisha, Atul and myself. So do come. You can register because you have to register to come. The link is in the show notes below, but the link is basically focon.in. I repeat, FOECON.in. So click on that link, register, and please do come and participate in this. We want to make this a bigger and bigger event as every year passes. And secondly, I'm going to be in Michigan from the 6th to the 9th of April for a conference. We will be having a subscriber meet at Ann Arbor. You can write to us at subscription@newslaundry.com if you already haven't been added to the group. We will keep you posted on where exactly and what time the subscribers meet will take place. But you can write to us at subscription@newslaundry.com. In the subject line, please write Michigan and we will add you because we've already heard from about 25 of you who want to participate in this subscriber meet, so we can have it there. On that note, thank you for joining us. Those of you who have on the Hafta, please pay to keep news free. Subscribe to newslaundry.com because as we say, when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. So we want you to support journalism. Jayashree will give us the headlines and then we shall get straight into the discussion. Jayashree, all yours.
Yes, so it's been a very busy week as usual. The Punjab police on Saturday said they've launched a massive manhunt to arrest Sikh leader Amritpal Singh. They claimed he escaped on a motorcycle. So far, 78 people have been arrested as part of these operations and several more detained. Internet services and mobile internet have also been suspended in some districts. A group of Khalistan supporters on Sunday attacked the Indian consulate in San Francisco in connection with this manhunt. This is soon after a separate group of protesters pulled down India's national flag at the Indian High Commission in London. India launched a strong protest. It summoned UK senior-most diplomat in Delhi. India has also removed barricades outside the High Commission and the High Commissioner's house in Delhi.
In fact, I think that rather than this churlish reaction, I was hoping they would get rid of all these barricades so that the public is not inconvenienced for the longest time. If you go behind the US Embassy, half the road has been taken over by the US Embassy's barricade. If you're just waiting for someone there, if you happen to slow down the US Embassy guards to go to, I feel like this is my country. So that is fine all this time. But if some tucha pachra like this happens, we will show you, hum bhi tumhari toffee le lenge. You should not have those barricades there in the first place, man. Half the road is taken up by these barricades.
In most of the embassies, barricading is done in the name of security.
Yeah, but
so
they've eaten up half the road. I don't really know what purpose it serves anyway.
In Surat, the district court has sentenced Congress MP Rahul Gandhi to 2 years imprisonment in a criminal defamation case filed against him. This is after he made remarks on Modi's surname. I think he allegedly said that people with the Modi surname are thieves.
I don't know whether he said that verbatim. I'm sure our producer Tahreem will find out the correct clip and play it.
इन सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 कैसे हैं?
He apparently spoke about Nirav Modi, Lalit Modi, and in that Modi. So the ticker in the news was Modi Samaj bahut पीड़ित था. Now I don't know which is the Modi Samaj that was पीड़ित, but
another thing I would like to see that how long this case took in the court. Because mostly defamation
goes on forever.
Cases go forever, and in this particular case, I think they have done it with the lightning speed.
Yep.
Within, I think, in less than a year.
Also, importantly, the case was filed against him by another BJP MLA whose name is Purnesh Modi, who said that.
At the same time, I think it is very dumb to say.
Yeah,
of course. It doesn't give you any
how
point.
can you say such a thing, in public?
But I think what Rahul Gandhi's lawyer had also argued in court, saying that we were not referring to Purnesh Modi, we were referring to the other Modis. So I think that didn't go down very well.
That's a pun.
Yeah. Also in Delhi, the police have registered 100 FIRs and arrested 6 people after posters came up in the national capital seeking the ouster of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The AAP asked what was objectionable about the posters, that so many cases had been registered.
In fact,
The poster said, Modi, hatao, desh bachao.
Yeah, we'll discuss this issue also in some detail.
After the Delhi budget was stalled by the Home Ministry on Tuesday, it was presented a day later by new Finance Minister Kailash Gehlot. The new budget is worth over 78,000 crores, which is almost 2.5 times higher than the expenditure in 2014-15.
Also, Delhi grew 2% higher than the national average over the last year. So the growth rate of Delhi has been pretty high as far as revenues and GDP is concerned.
And MCD has also got very good
Yes.
budget this time.
But of course, we don't hear those the economic geniuses who said that when Kejriwal had come that I'll make Bijli free up to 700 units, that Delhi will be bankrupted within a year. Its fiscal health is better than most BJP ruled states. So I don't know where those genius economists are, like Mr. Gautam Bhatia. Not his name, sorry. What's his name? The BJP cheerleader. Anyway, it'll come to me.
Some Bhatia.
You mean Gaurav Bhatia?
No. I'm getting. You also got my illness. Your wrong names you're going to get.
So, news from my part of the world is that the admin of a Twitter handle has been arrested for posting a meme against the DMK. This was widely criticized by the opposition. The police, however, have said the man was held for denigrating women in the tweet. If you guys want a TLDR, what happened is that during the presentation of the state budget, the finance minister had said they'll offer monthly assistance to the women heads of households, and he said there'll be a selection process to determine who these women heads are. I think the assistance is 1,000 rupees a month. I mean, it's a great scheme. But then this video in question it's a very popular scene from a Tamil movie featuring 2 comedians called Sendil and Goundamani. And in the scene, both the comedians are discussing how they will choose a woman based on how they look. So the tweet had superimposed Stalin and the finance minister's heads onto these 2 characters to indicate that they are discussing how they'll choose women. So, yeah, case was filed. I think the admin has been sent to 15 days judicial custody, which is honestly astonishing. So, anyway, the BJP and the ADMK have been highly critical of this. And I think arrest Stalin was trending on Twitter. So,
I see.
The Home Ministry has recommended a CBI inquiry against activist Harsh Mandar's NGO for alleged violation of foreign funding norms. On Monday, the Supreme Court refused to accept the centre's note in a sealed cover, which presented its views on payment of arrears under the One Rank One Pension scheme. This is after the government had missed its deadline of March to clear the arrears. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma said on last Thursday, that he intends to close all madrasas in the state. He said this while addressing a rally in Karnataka.
Yeah, he says there is no place. Everyone should be educated in schools and colleges and not madrasas.
The Jammu and Kashmir police have arrested a Gujarat resident for allegedly posing as an official from the Prime Minister's office. Apparently, he was impersonating an additional director for strategy and campaigns in the PMO.
And he pulled it off for 4 months, right?
He's some Patel, I think. Gujarati.
Kiran Bhai
And
Patel.
he was given the security also, which the police have admitted that it was a lapse. So they are looking into it.
On Thursday, the Delhi police served a notice to Rahul Gandhi seeking information on sexual harassment victims that he had mentioned during a speech. The police also turned up at his house to question him.
I must say the Delhi police has really covered itself in glory in the last week, the kind of things it's done.
The National Green Tribunal on Friday imposed a fine of 100 crores on the Kochi Municipal Corporation for a recent fire at the city's waste treatment plant.
And speaking of Kochi, I will be in Kochi on Saturday and Sunday for Cutting South, an event we are starting in partnership with the News Minute and Josie Joseph's Conference Media. So do come by in case you're there.
I think there should have been a better segue from waste treatment plant fire to
I
event with News Minute.
In fact, during the run-up to the event, I was concerned because there's that garbage burning, there's toxic air in Kochi. I was like, of all the weekends when we have to do our event, it's the week when the garbage has got fire. Anyway.
But I feel like we'll see a lot more of these landfill fires across cities because all kinds of waste is mixed, dangerously stored, and there needs to be a sort of fundamental rethinking of solid waste management.
Right.
So, Interpol has withdrawn its red corner notice that was issued against fugitive businessman Mehul Choksi. I think India has sought the restoration of this notice.
Right.
India has also made the most requests among South Asian countries to big tech firms for user data, according to a report by a Netherlands firm.
So that's not surprising. I mean, but this time at least they're asking for data. In many cases, they just come and take it. Like an ours.
An annual report released by the US government on Monday flagged significant human rights issues in India, including extrajudicial killings, torture, and arbitrary arrests.
Standing by for someone to be summoned from the US Embassy.
At least 11 people were killed and hundreds injured after a magnitude 6.5 earthquake rattled Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India on Tuesday night. And finally, India has been ranked 126 out of 146 countries in the latest World Happiness Report.
And this made a lot of news anchors very unhappy. And you shall get commentary on this in this week's Nuisance, which has been anchored by yours truly, because Manisha's throat is very hoarse. She got the flu, which is why she's not here. But let's get straight to the discussion. All the channels are showing video grabs of him getting off a Mercedes, getting into a Brezza, then getting off the Brezza, getting onto a bike, then that bike being loaded onto a rickshaw and him sitting in a rickshaw. So I personally don't know who to believe. Has he been arrested? Has he not? Because even from the point of view of the cops, after the last time they held one of his associates in a police station in Amritsar, the whole police station was surrounded and they had to let the guy go. So even if the Punjab police was to catch him, would it be a smart thing to say that yes, he's in our custody and this is a police station he's in? Because that would be surrounded. So that's also plausible. At the same time, it makes them look stupid. Why will they not accept that they've got him? So I really don't know what to believe. That's the context. That's where we are. So, and the rest of the panel can jump in with questions, comments, whatever. But Aman, in this context, how serious is this extremist as compared to the extremism that you witnessed in the 80s?
No, there is no extremism on the streets of Punjab. And this is all being projected. I'm in regular touch. For a few days when internet was totally down, I could not contact friends there. But since it has Wi-Fi started working, I started talking to people. Everybody will tell you that there has been no incident of violence. There has been no outrage also. There was one morcha already going on to free political prisoners. They protested, but peacefully. There is a new morcha which has come up on the Harike Pattan, the wetlands bridge. But they are also extremely peaceful. See, with Amritpal, we need to understand that how suddenly he was placed in the middle of radical Sikh politics in Punjab. And for all these months, he enjoyed a great degree of impunity because from other minority communities, young men who have said much lesser have been thrown in jails for 800 days, 1,000 days, Right. So here he was enjoying some impunity. And all these cars and Mercedes-Benz and all that, these are, in Punjab, these become symbols of masculinity, and he had all of those. and he had said many, many drastic things which a right-wing government normally does not tolerate at all. Now, BJP has a sort of friendly policy towards the Sikhs. We see that happen. But his growth and no inquiry, now they're suddenly finding ISI links and they're finding these, 7 bank accounts and roughly 30 crore rupees coming into it. You see how the state uses the enforcement directorate, the IT sleuths, the CBI, opposition members in the country, opposition parties, they constantly face raids. But they were completely silent over him. Even when the sacrilege protests happened in Punjab, administration had removed itself from the scene. Police had disappeared. Politicians were hiding. Punjab was peaceful. So, there is this old idea of Punjab bursting that they want to keep reviving to create this fear mongering. And you said that if we were put in a police station in Punjab, well, you have already shipped out the 7 aides of his to Dibrugarh in Assam.
Right.
You could have done it with him as well. So I don't know, and I'm nobody to comment whether he's arrested or not. The vibe on the ground is completely that he's arrested.
Okay.
And there are a couple of logical things that can come out of it. See, when the police declare somebody fugitive, it is actually not for police to declare a person fugitive. Police's job is to go to court and say, we are unable to apprehend this person for 2 months, 3 months. Then the court declares the person fugitive.
I see.
Even that has not been followed as protocol. Now, in Punjab, the word fugitive means something else to us. It means that there is a possibility of an encounter happening. When the farm laws happened and the protests happened, now we need to notice that this was mostly a left-oriented unions protest. Left is otherwise not politically available in Punjab as an option, but the thinking of these unions is left-oriented, and it is deeply informed with the Sikh ethos of langar and seva and, the welfare of everybody. So it was a combination of those two things. But the radical Sikhs, they kept wanting to pull it, you can say, or push it, you can say, towards a more, Sikh way of protesting, which is basically armed and or not stay at the borders, march onto the parliament, things like that. Deep Sidhu was one of the figures there. And after whatever happened on 26th January, once he was arrested and then he came out, he created this organization called Waris Punjab Day. And notice he did not call it Waris Sikha Day. It was a Punjab thing, and Punjab is Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, everybody, And when he took over, he made that organization. Very soon after that, he died. This guy started circulating a newsletter to people saying that if you want to, become a member of Waris Punjab Day, you should sign here. Basically started soliciting members internationally as well. And Deep Sidhu's own family was saying that, where does he come from? And suddenly Simranjit Singh Mann, who is another radical Sikh, politician, now an MP from Sangrur, he announced that Amritpal is the next head of Waris Punjab Day.
With all the resources, I think finding one person can still be difficult. We have seen in many other chases also. Of course, the Punjab terrain is different. So, that may be a very far-fetched example, but tracking just one person, Osama bin Laden, for all the resources, it took a lot of time. So, with all resources also, if you have a well-knit ecosystem helping your escapades, so it may be still difficult. So I don't know that we can...
Who to believe on this one?
Yes.
But one second. But you brought in Osama bin Laden. I think the comparison one-to-one doesn't hold at all. But how was he finally picked up? He was also picked up middle of night from his home. Right?
Yeah.
So that is the point. The point is that if you just wanted to pick him up, you could have gone with 5 constables, picked him up from his home. He had a few people around him at his home. There was no great security. There was no need to enact this drama on the day the G20 conference is going on in Amritsar.
But second is the conspiracy theory, and I think his lawyer has filed the habeas corpus petition, and the matter has got a judicial color now with his lawyer filing habeas corpus. So I think that is a possibility. Also, the second possibility that police have already detained him. What could be the possible gains from that? One is that wait and watch and see how the public perceptions are forming over a period of time, and buy some time, and somehow engineer a kind of exit that is very suitable to the state script. So that could be one possibility. But the problem with this hypothesis is that the longer that period is, the anxiety level would be higher.
Well, this is a great setup for the beginning of one of those comedy thrillers that, this dreaded guy who's a political entity is sitting under a bridge and he goes to the Khates to take a leak, and two petty criminals catch hold of him and think that they'll get some money out of him, and now he's in their custody. Now usko chhod jogi, now usko rakhan jogi. That's where they are. They can't let him go because they'll get bumped up by his guys, but they can't keep him because he's bigger than what they imagined. That's a Quentin Tarantino theory.
Even the picture that show him coming out, the grab that shows him coming out of the car with a different turban, that is a Patiala turban. That is at least 6 meters of cloth.
Yeah.
You can't just simply tie it inside the backseat of a car without stretching the cloth, what we call pooni in Sikh,
right.
In the tradition. So how, or it was a pre-tied turban, but it doesn't look like that. It is not starched. So I think they're just piling on stories. I mean, I think that one on the, what we call in Punjabi, Reda, sort of horse cart, or donkey
motorized
cart.
rickshaw.
Yeah, motorized rickshaw. Yeah, I mean, that is the petrol khatam ho gaya, na? I mean, what else is it?
Right.
So I think there are tall tales being built. If the initial intent was to enhance his status, then in Punjab at least, when somebody gets arrested, their status enhanced.
And I think whatever Aman has said, whatever speculations that we have made, during this podcast, I think they are very valid questions, considering the fact that how the Punjab police and the number of encounters that have happened in the past, the political encounters primarily. I mean, I'll consider them questions, but I don't want to go into speculations. Now, the center and state, so far, I think both the parties it seems that they are on the same page. Because if you just plainly look at the
they haven't been trashing each other.
That Man had gone and met Home Minister. And in fact, we had interviewed, Amritpal after that. So I think Amritpal didn't have any, iota of doubt that if Man has met, maybe, I mean, it sounded, it was about the incident that happened, at the police station. Amritpal had gone and got his man free. So I think they, so far, whatever statements they have made, they are complementing each other. Central is not trying to show that it is the mistake of the state government, and state government also, Balwant Man, whatever statement he has given, is not trying to show
critical
that.
Of the center. So you think
there is also no one-upmanship so far.
For me, it's the media that has sort of assigned this larger than life image to Amritpal Singh that perhaps he never actually had, maybe like far out of proportion with what his actual significance was in the state of Punjab itself. And while I think, of course, the state, its agencies, the police, there's some colossal failure at work in this entire manhunt that has been playing out for days. But I think the media has been wildly irresponsible. I think it's chasing some sort of, I mean, it is a sensational story, but it also in part helped create the sensation that is Amritpal Singh, right?
Yeah, and
So-
also, and the history is a part one. It's this, the precursor of what could happen, of what possibilities. So I think
and
that also keeps.
and they're getting no context. So for someone like me, for example, so if you assume that the Khalistan movement on the ground in Punjab is either dormant or or long dead, or it is a diaspora sort of thing, if you watch news channels, you would think it's alive and kicking and popular on the ground in the state.
And one thing I found funny was some of the anchors refer to some of these guys as Khalistanis. That the Indian government has not given them the country, you've given it to them. They are Khalistan.
Yeah.
They are Indians, they aren't Khalistanis yet. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is actually the intersection of 2 or 3 stories. One is this posters that were found in Delhi, which said Modi Hatao Desh Bachao. The police claims that it is not because of the slogan, but because it has violated the rule that the printing press has to publish where it was printed. The second is a court in Gujarat has found Rahul Gandhi guilty of defamation because of the comments he made on Modi. And he may lose his seat, basically, if he's
That's the
convicted.
idea. See, mostly you don't get 2 years in a defamation case. But if you get 2 years, then you lose your seat in.
Right. All of you listening in, the Chhota Hafta, do subscribe so you can listen to the entire Hafta. We will see you again next week with the Hafta. Till then, subscribe, pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Thank you. Goodbye.
All the News Laundry podcasts are available on Stitcher, iTunes, and any other podcast platform.
Please subscribe to Newslaundry. Help us keep news independent. To catch all our podcasts on news, pop culture, current affairs and sport, visit newslaundry.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sun liya Afrika, mufat khoro. Not to brag or anything, but Newslaundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All Newslaundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.